Consider this kind of a part two, but more in depth with Nil's opinions on this and feelings about this situation. So let's hear him out. Or them out. I don't know Nil's gender, I'm gonna be honest.
Alrighty guys, Nil here, and I probably should have saved evidence, but luckily JAG didn't lie when admitting they were role-playing with Scamos for 2+ years about diaper fetish art with gotcha OCs and a mommy OC being added into the mix. Back in the day, I felt bad about going as hard as I did on JAG for defending Studio needing more when they were 18 and 19, but 3 years have passed and now they're starting to do the same bullshit and trying to act as though it's not a big deal. Let me reiterate that I do not care if Scamos continues to be friends with JAG. They're currently an adult and this is their choice. If they want to roleplay now that they're an adult, that's fine. My issue and the issue is that JAG keeps coming up with them now, claiming they never had any NSFW roleplay after admitting it the first time, despite the fact that JAG's DeviantArt and YouTube were and likely still are plagued with diaper fetish art and roleplay because it's the only thing that can get the fucker off. Myself and Nova tried for months to steer Buddy into doing productive shit like art, coding, music, as well as gaming to keep bros' attention span off wanting to whack their willy to gotcha OCs and diapers, but clearly that didn't work. No shame on them for their fetishes as it does stand for trauma, so while you're free to criticize the roleplays with a minor, don't get on them for their diaper fetish. I'm doing that now because it was a diaper fetish roleplays that were fucking happening. Y'all refuse to do it to Doodle Tone, so keep some consistency if you're in the CC, I guess. We'll wait for about 5 years when Scamos grows up and realizes everything. So, seeing a 21/22-year-old role-playing with who they knew was a minor and still sending fetish artwork through the chat, and there were never nudes. Don't worry about that. It was all gotcha and diapers, but it still raises many alarm bells and red flags. So, am I saying that JAG's a groomer or a predator? No. What I'm saying is that they've been exceptionally and unbelievably negligent and arrogant when it comes to making decisions to even role-playing with a minor in the first place. Keep role-plays to adults and adults if you're one. It's not that hard for most people to grasp basic concepts of, even me, and I'm a retard. So this is myself being nice in a sense, because JAG keeps bringing Scamos to my front doorstep to back them up after they admitted to multiple roleplays over years, and that's a metaphor, not my actual doorstep, I mean to my YouTube posts. And here's a question for everybody, because JAG keeps saying that they never knew Scamos' age, or they didn't know, etc., and saying that's a gotcha. Well, did JAG know Scamos' age? When Scamos was 16, JAG did not know Scamos' age, so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt there. They were probably stupid. But they did find out Scamos was 17 in February of this year, just 2 months before turning 18 in April, and continued to have fetish roleplays. Which, for those unaware, fetishes are kinks, and those are not safe for work. Should be 18 plus only. It's very basic concepts to grasp. So after finding out their age, especially knowing they've done this before with another minor now after asking around just a few questions, why would JAG not think to ask the age immediately if they wish to have roleplays that are sexual in nature? And yes, even diaper OCs with mommy MILFs and going on about titties and sucking on breasts and wanting mommy's milky. That's not safe for work. So, what now? They should have just asked the age immediately if they wish to have roleplays or allow them into the roleplay spaces. And should have waited until Scamos was at least 18 to let them in. But JAG has a bad habit of doing whatever it takes to get their rocks off and have mental breakdowns on their friends, sometimes multiple times per day because they can't get a job as they don't even try to get a job, and then they wonder why they have no structure in their life. JAG, if you want some real advice, I've been holding back on you to save your feelings. You need to get a job. Stop role-playing every day about your weird fantasy of shitting yourself and grow the fuck up. I will not be nice next time, and I'd rather not get into any more details about yourself, Jen Nova, and I in our time working together on projects, because I held back a lot of what I really wanted to say due to your severe autism. There were a lot of times you were freaking out on everybody. I wanted to tell you, go fuck yourself, fuck off, shut the fuck up, grow up, get a job, grow a spine. I never said any of that. I'm saying it now. I never said it then in the chats. I was civil. Something that you failed to do. Anyways, after I decided to leave and told JAG to find themselves, which, spoiler, they never did, I went to speak to Kirito on the matter. All seemed fine and well until a few days later, in came Kirito showing myself that JAG was kicking Scamos out of their group chat for some weird reason and they couldn't be friends anymore because it's apparently my fault. Okay, let me reiterate. They were already 18 when you kicked them out of your friend group. I don't care anymore now that they're legally an adult. They can make their own decisions, okay? But this is where it really ticks me off, is because JAG didn't say it was because of their fault or they shouldn't be role-playing or they've understood. If they did, I wouldn't be mad. I'd say that's not the outcome I wanted, but okay, there's growth. It's not the growth I thought, but okay. Because what they decided to do instead is tell Scamos it's for both of their safety. Likely because back in 2021 I was a doxer, but 4 years have passed and I don't do that shit anymore. So there's only one issue. I'm not after Scamos, and I'm only after JAG when JAG brings it to my doorstep metaphorically. So after the conversations with Kirito, I went to speak to Sparrow and about the Asher and Carmen situation and such, knowing I'll be looking into things alongside Kirito, likely alongside Asher as well. I decided that since JAG wanted to keep up the trash talk behind the scenes where I could see it, I would inform Sparrow about JAG being Kirito's partner and speak to them about the role plays. Was that petty on my part? Absolutely. But am I going to work alongside JAG when looking into this? Absolutely fucking not. I'll work alongside Kirito though, I have no issue with that. So one talk with Kirito later and here we are. Then JAG decided to shit in my community post next, so now this video's out here on Snarkfield's channel. I don't do commentary anymore, nor do I want to, because everybody I've ever gone after has later been proven to be exactly what I said. I'm just a guy who gets the ball rolling for others to start and do their own licky-loos. There's a reason, despite myself being a piece of shit, I'm always somehow back here. Instead of crying myself to sleep. It's because no matter what, I at least don't fuck around with kitties, JAG. You do need your YouTube break for a long time, at least a year I'd recommend. Get your life in order. And if JAG wants to prove how these roleplays were safe for work, I suggest a live roleplay session right here on YouTube just to show everybody. I'll even join in to make sure it stays safe for JAG, as, that's just the added bonus. So the next time I appear here will probably be November, speaking about the Vigilant Critic, because that story is so much more juicier, and I just need to wait for the court hearing and or court trial to speak out against about everything properly, without risking any damage to a fair trial. So until then, have a great day, and just don't roleplay with minors. Back to Snarkfield. Your thoughts?
Before I give my opinions on what Nils said, I'm going to show JAG not taking accountability in Nils' comment thread on one of his posts. By the way, the post was even related to JAG. All he did was literally scream at Nil because he ruined his own life. Like I said in the previous video, he will blame people that isn't himself. And then when I woke up, I saw a comment saying some shit like, OMG, how do I redeem myself? Nah, you can't redeem yourself for shit, Jag. Just leave the internet and actually get a fucking life, my god. Like, he really wants to stay on the internet so fucking badly. Then he does shit like this. I don't think you're really convincing anybody to be like, oh yeah, he can stay online. I think you're convincing people of the opposite, Jag. You've been doing this shit for like, what, 5 years? 4 years? Some shit like that. There's not knowing the age, which is fine. You're still going to get eyebrows raised at you, but you didn't know the age, so whatever. Then there's knowing the fucking age. Even after learning about the age and just cutting it off there, no, you fucking continued. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I would let it slide if you just turned 18. You just turned 18. Whatever, you fuck up. But you're fucking 20. You're in your goddamn 20s, Jag. By the way, I know what he looks like. Like, hell nah, Jag. You ain't recovering from this shit. So, yeah. You're fucking done. Like, this is way worse than the other shit you've been doing. Like, yeah, sure, you're fucking pussy ass bitch. Haha, laugh at this pussy ass bitch being a pussy ass bitch. But knowing a minor and still kind of doing sexual role plays with them. Nah, get the fuck off the internet, boy. Go live a real life so you don't do this shit again. You can't be trusted in your own fucking small community. Get the fuck out of here. Honestly, I think it would take a lot to, get Nil to just say fuck off. But here we are. Nil saying basically fuck off, Jag. You fucked up so badly that even Nil's like, yeah, fuck you. And Nil has been dealing with your shit for like, what, at least 2 years or some shit like that? I don't fucking know. But yeah, that's all I really have to say in this video, so unless we get some more information about what's happening with Jag, which I really doubt will happen, nothing is really going to top this. Yeah, this is probably the end of talking about Jag, most likely. Unless Raptor talks about him. But Raptor will probably do that on his own time. But yeah, like, what the fuck?